The old house stood at the end of our street, dark and silent. It had been empty for years. We dared each other to go near it, but nobody ever did. One hot summer day, a moving van arrived. We watched from behind our curtains as boxes were unloaded. A new family was moving in. I felt a shiver, even though it was scorching outside. Something wasn't right. That afternoon, a woman came to our door. She had a warm smile and friendly eyes. "Hello," she said. "I'm Claire, your new neighbor. I just wanted to introduce myself. My parents were delighted. A new family. And so nice." But I couldn't shake the uneasy feeling in my stomach. Something about Claire seemed off. My dog Sparky hated Claire. He growled whenever she was near. One night I heard him barking frantically in the backyard. I rushed outside. Claire stood there, bathed in the moonlight. "Just saying hello to your dog," she said, her voice like a whisper. Sparky was cowering under the porch, whimpering. But what chilled me to the bone was Claire's shadow. It wasn't human. It was long and twisted, like the branches of a gnarled old tree. Before I could scream, she was gone. Things started disappearing. First it was Mrs. Peterson's cat. Then little Timmy Henderson's toy truck, poof, gone without a trace. Sparky wouldn't leave my side. He trembled constantly, his fur on end. He was trying to tell me something, but what? One night I woke to a scratching sound at my window. I peeked through the blinds, my blood ran cold. It was Claire, her face pressed against the glass. Her eyes glowed an eerie green in the darkness. Her teeth were bared in a terrifying grin. I slammed the blinds shut and hid under the covers, too terrified to scream. I had to do something. I told my parents about Claire, about her strange behavior and the disappearances. They dismissed it as an overactive imagination. That's when I knew I was on my own. That night, I decided to sneak into Claire's house. Armed with a flashlight and my heart thumping in my chest, I crept next door. The front door creaked open as if inviting me in. Inside, the house was dark and dusty. Cobwebs hung from every corner. I tiptoed through the eerie silence, my flashlight beam dancing on the walls. Suddenly I heard a noise, a low growl coming from the basement. Cautiously, I descended the creaky stairs. The growl grew louder. My hand shook as I pointed the flashlight towards the sound. There, huddled in the corner, was Claire. But she wasn't Claire anymore. Her skin was green and scaly. Her eyes glowed like embers, and her fingers were long, sharp claws. In her arms, she cradled a whimpering Sparky. I gasped, dropping my flashlight. Claire, or whatever she was, turned towards me. Her eyes blazed with fury. I didn't wait to see what would happen next. I ran faster than I ever had before, back to the safety of my house. The next morning, the police were everywhere. Claire and her family were gone, vanished without a trace. The moving van, the furniture, everything was gone. It was as if they had never existed. Sparky returned home later that day, tail between his legs. But something was different. He seemed calmer, almost relieved. As I hugged him tightly, I couldn't shake the feeling that Claire wasn't gone. She was still out there, somewhere, lurking in the shadows. Waiting, watching,